Good morning, student. Today we will do the revision of test, measurement and evaluation in sports. Test. In scientific terms, test is an instrument or tools which is used to obtain data on specific trait or characteristic. With the help of test, we can with the help with the helps of test, we obtain a data. Test, it is an instrument. For examples, weighing machine, stadiometers, thermometers, measuring tapes, all this are the tests. All these instruments are the tests. And with the help of tests, we obtain a data. And a good test should measure the quality for which it is to be used, and test is to be simple, accurate and easy to administer. Measurement. Measurement is an aid to evaluate. Measurement is the raw score or the reading which we get from the test. It is a scientific score. Measurement is the scientific score which we get from the test. Evaluation. Evaluation, it is a scientific judgment based on analysis and interpretation of data which we gain from the test. Test and measurement are prerequisites for evaluation. Without test and measurement, evaluations is not possible. Evaluations tell the worth or progress of the individuals or group. It is a subjective judgment. In evaluations, two steps are there. First, the data is compared with some standards, norms, and after comparing, the decisions are taken. So these are the meaning of test, measurement and evaluation. Test is an instrument or tools which is used to obtain a data. Measurement is a raw score which we get from the test. And evaluation, it is a scientific judgment based on analysis and interpretations of data which we get from the test. For example, weighing machine. Weighing machine, it's a test 50 kg which we have received from the test. This 50 kg is a measurement. And evaluation. For example, evaluating the 50 kg with the help of BMI. Comparing this 50 kg with the BMI and finding out whether the person is overweight, underweight. This is evaluation. Finding the physical fitness with the help of the weight of a person is known as evaluation. What are the importance of evaluation, importance of test and measurement in sports? Test and measurement helps in the classifications of sport. The first steps in physical educations is to classify the players into various groups, and with the help of test and measurement we can classify the sports persons into various groups according to their capacity and present level of fitness. For example, classifying the players according to the age, sex, their body weight, sports skill, their physical fitness, etc. Selection of sports person. With the help of test and measurement, we can select a best team for the various category. These tests are used to select few participants for various category. Teaching of training effect. With the help of test and measurement, we can test the training effect. Before the training program, we measured his test. The progress of training and physical fitness program can only be evaluated on the basis of scientific. The progress of sports training and physical fitness program can only be evaluated with the help of scientific measurement and evaluations procedure. For example, before training, testing their physical fitness, and after giving the training, again measuring the fitness of our players. So according to this, we can find out the whether the fitness of a person is increased or decreased. Testing individualized training program. Test and measurement helps to individualize the training program. By testing their physical fitness, we can individualize the training program according to them. Motivations of sports persons. Without tests and measurement and evaluations, motivations of a sports persons is not possible. Physical educations become quite boring due to non-involvement of interest of the student. If the student know their physical fitness, then it helps to motivate the sports person. It encourages the student to work hard for improving their performance, to achieve goals and objectives specifically. The student understand with the help of test and measurement. Student understand their goal and objective, thus find out whether the specific goal and object have been achieved or not. To study the development of sports person. The development of sports person related to organics, neuromuscular, interpretative, social and emotional can only be studied by applying the methods of measurement and evaluation. Proper selection to prepare the standards or norms. With the help of test and measurement and evaluation process, we can prepare the standards or norms. It helps to maintain the standards or norms of the performance, and we measured with that standards or norms to predict performance potentials. The talented selections and sports and coaching of teams in various sports is gradually improved by predicting their future potential. To compare and evaluate training methods, the teachers with the help of tests, measurement and evaluations, they can compare the training methods which is suitable for different group. To conduct the research, it also helps in conducting the research. It's helped to obtain the data, and through that data it's helped the persons to do the research work and compare the data with other source. Somatotypes. W.S. Selden classified the human body according to the shape and structures and physics. He classified the human body into three types: endomorphic, mesomorphic and ectomorphic. Endomorphic means fatty person. This endomorphic means fatty persons. They are generally stocky with large round body, or they have pear-shaped body. Usually they are short in height, short neck, short arms, short leg, wide hip and shoulders. Wide. They are widest from front rather than side to side, and they have lot of fat in their body. Endomorphic persons are poor in physical fitness. They are poor athletes, but they are poor. They have less endurance, speed, coordinative ability, etc. But endomorphic persons have good strength, and they are good in the sports where strength are required, like weightlifting. Mesomorphic are those persons who are strong and muscular body. Okay, in the mesomorphic are broad muscular body shape. They are the healthy persons. They have strong and broad muscular chest and shoulders. They are they have muscular arms and legs and little body fat. They are their height, they are medium in height, narrow hip, narrows from the back then side to side. These mesomorphic persons have good strength, speed, endurance, flexibility, coordinative ability, etc. Therefore, they are good athletes. Mesomorphic persons has less fat in their body and they are good in maximum organs. Ectomorphic persons are ectomorphic, lean and thin persons. Ectomorphic persons are lean and thin persons. They are long, slender and thin, high forehead, recording chin, narrow shoulders, hip, narrow chest and abdomen, thin arms and legs, little or less or low fat in their body. Ectomorphic persons have less strength, but ectomorphic persons have good flexibility and endurance. Therefore, they are good in long distance running, etc. So these are the three types of body according to W.S. Salins: endomorphic, mesomorphic, ectomorphic. Endomorphic means fatty persons, those who are fatty. Usually endomorphic persons are friendly. They are sociable in natures, easily adjust with the others, talkative. Um, Mesomorphic, they are the healthy persons. Ectomorphic are less talkative. They are less talkative, future oriented. They are not sociable. They live, they think about the futures. They are not friendly, less talkative. They have on their internal world, etc. Measurement of health related fitness. Health related fitness measurement. Measurement tools. Health related fitness measurement tools is named as anthropometric tools. For checking the height, we use the instrument known as stadiometers. With the help of weighing machine, we measure the weight of a person. With the help of flexometers, we measure the flexibility. Bone calipers helps to measure the length of the bones. Skin fold calipers help to measure the fat of a person's. Dynamometers helps to measure the strength. Blood pressures apparatus help to measure the blood pressures. Glucometers helps to measure blood sugars and a stethoscope helps to measure the chest beat. Next is yoga. The origin of the word yoga is from the Sanskrit word yuz. Yuz means to join. According to Patanjali, it is the founder of yoga. The meaning of the word yuz means to stabilize the mind for the union of Atma with Paramatma. So, yoga means union of Atma with Paramatma. Atma means soul and Paramatma means super controller, that is God. According to Swami Digambarji, yoga is a union of Atma with Paramatma. Yoga, it's a life of science. The main purpose of yoga is to provide sound body with tension-free and sound mind. And the aim of yoga is self-identification, self-purifications, which is possible by the purification of body and mind. According to Ashtanga Yoga from Patanjali, yoga consists 8 stages to achieve the union of Atma with Paramatma. After achieving these 8 stages, that is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. These are the 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. After achieving these 8 stages, then it will then there will be the union of Atma with Paramatma. Yoga is science as well as art of living for a healthy, happy and prosperous life. Yoga is science because in yoga we study the effect of yoga on human being. What will happen if we do yoga on a living things? And it is art of living because yoga we perform portion, we perform activity, means exercise. So it is science as well as art of living. Elements of yoga. There are 8 elements of yoga according to Ashtanga Yoga. Ast means 8, Tang means Ang. Ashtanga Yoga from Patanjali. There are 8 stages to attain the purification of body and mind. By purification of body and mind, to achieve the union of Atma with Paramatma. First stage is Yam. Yam, it is social discipline for the benefit of society. In Yam, there are 5 principles, that is Ahimsa, Satyam, Asatyam, Brahmacharya and Aparigraha. These are the 5 principles of Yam which the person has to follow. Ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence, means not to hurt anybody or any creatures mentally, physically. Satyam. Satyam means truthfulness. One should speak the truth. One should never cheat others. Always speak truth. Asatya. Asatya means not stealing. One must not steal anything of the others, not his money, idea, thought, etc. Not steal anything. If you steal, means you are stealing from God Himself. So never steal anything of others. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means to keep one's sense organs under his control. Aparigraha means one should not collect wealth or others' item more than he required. These are the 5 principles of Yam for the society. Next is Niyam. Niyam for the individual. Niyam, individual discipline. Niyam, it is for self-purification by the discipline. In Niyam, there are 5 principles, that is Swach, Santosh, Tapa, Swadhyay, Iswa, Paridhan. These are the 5 principles of Niyam. Swach. Swach means cleanliness, purity. One must internally and externally purify his body and mind. Okay, Swach means cleanness. One should internally plus externally clean his body. Santosh means satisfactions. One must happy whatever he have. The person should be satisfied. Tapa means accepting the difficulty with a positive mind. Remaining Santosh means satisfactions. One should be satisfied in life. He should remain happy whatever he get. Tapa Tapa means the person should face the difficulty. One must one he should face the difficulty so that one can move towards his ultimate goals, accepting win or loss in a positive mind. Swadhyaya means self-study, knowing about yourself. For this, read the for this read Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, etc. Iswaparidhan means devoting everything to the God. We should thank for the God whatever we have. These are the 5 principles of Niyam. Okay, Swachh, Santosh, Tapa, Swadhyaya and Iswaparidhan. Asan, it is a slow stretching activity which are performed to improve the whole body. Asan, in asanas we hold the finer positions for a few seconds. Pranayam, Pranayam is a systematic and rhythmic breathing exercise. Pranayams helps to improve the internal functioning of the whole body. In pranayam, we inhale, exhale and hold the breath. Inhale means purak, exhale means rechak and holding of breath kumbhak. And also there are many kriyas which we perform for internal cleaning our body like jalneti, dhoti, etc. Pratyahar means Pratyahar means withdraw of sense. He should develop the mental strategy by controlling. The person should able to control his sense organs. Withdraw of sense. His sense is no more responding to the external world. And dharna means fixing the attention on a single object. Fixing the attention on a single object, that is high concentrations. For example, keeping the pencil in front of you and fixing the attention on that single object. Dhyan, it is the process of controlling the mind through meditation. Dhyan helps to controlling the mind through meditations. It is a super consciousness. It develops high level of concentration. Samadhi, it is the last stage, that is super consciousness where Dhyan reaches its climax, that is it is a state of union of Atma with the Paramatma, merging of consciousness and salvations. And the people, if there is union of Atma with Paramatma, after attaining this final stage, one is free from the bondage of birth and death. These are the 8 elements of yoga. 8 elements of Ashtanga yoga to achieve for the union of Atma with Paramatma. Yam for social discipline, that is ahimsa, satya, asatya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Niyam, individual discipline. Swachh, santosh, tapa, swadhyaya, iswaparidhan. Asan, slow stretching exercise. Pranayam, breathing exercise. Pratyahar means withdraw of sense. Dharna means fixing the attention on one object. Dhyan means controlling over the mind through meditations. And Samadhi, it is the last stage where Dhyan reaches its climax, that is union of Atma with Paramatma. Asan. Asan is the third step of Ashtanga Yoga after Yam and Niyam. Asan, it is a slow stretching activity in which we hold the final positions for a few seconds. That is approx 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It helps to bring stability to the body and pose to the mind. Asana, it is categorized into 3 parts: Kalcharasana, meditative and relaxative asana, and therapeutic asana. Kalcharasana for the body fitness like Trikonasana, Dhanuasana, Ardha Matsyendrasana asana, Bhujangasana, etc. Meditative asana for meditations like Sukhasana. Relaxative asana for relaxations like Savasana, Yog Mudra, Savasana, Yog Nidra, Makrasana, and therapeutic asanas for curing various health problems like Tarasana for curing flat foot, Bhujangasana for curing back pain, etc. Trikonasana for curing scoliosis, posture deformity, etc. These are the three. These asana are categorized into these 3 parts: Kalcharasana, meditative and relaxative asana, and therapeutic asanas. Asanas, it is performed in standing positions, sitting positions, lying positions, etc. As before doing any activity, before doing any training, we do the warming up in same manners in yoga. Before performing yoga, we perform the Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar means sun salute stretching. In this Surya Namaskar, there are 12 steps, there are 12 asana in Surya Namaskar which we have to follow slowly. It is a slow stretching activity. Our heart rate, breathing rate and body temperatures should be normal. Usually the effect of asanas is internal and it takes a long process and it is permanent. Importance of yoga. First importance of yoga is it improves cardiovascular systems. Yoga asanas and pranayam improve the efficiency of cardiovascular system. Our endurance is highly developed. Our strength is developed. Away from cardiac problems like heart attack, abdomen, heart attack, heart disease, chest pain, etc. This can be yoga practice cure this type of heart problems. Proper functioning of digestive organs. By performing yoga, it's help in proper functioning of digestive organs like by doing Vajrasana. Our digestive gland function properly. Control over sense. By performing yoga, by performing asana, it's help to control over the sense organs. Our body, we are able to control our sense. Our body will feel relaxed. Our body will feel relaxed from the pain and help to stabilize the mind. It helps to remove the stress, tension, develop concentrations. Asana and pranayam, it's help to develop the concentration. Good posture. Asana also helps to bring good posture of the individual. Posture, it is a specific body position. By performing asanas, it's help to maintain a good posture of a person. remove ortho problems like arthritis, joint pain, spondylitis, back pain, etc. This type of ortho problems can be prevented by performing the asana. Cure disease. Yoga practice helps to cure many type of disease like cold, cough, asthma, gastric problem, constipations, etc. Like doing Anulom Vilom, Surya Bhedan Pranayam, Sitli Pranayam, etc. By performing this type of pranayam, we can cure cold, cough, asthma, etc. Prevent premature aging. Yoga helps to prevent premature aging. Therefore, the age factors can be delayed, and it helps to improve our body efficiency, improve health and hygienic. Yoga improve the health and develop hygienical habit of the individual. Thus, the persons will live happy, healthy, peaceful and prosperous life can be achieved. These are the some importance of yoga. So we have discussed the meaning of yoga, its importance and elements of yoga. The meaning of yoga. Yoga means union of Atma with Paramatma, and the aim of yoga is self-realizations, self-identifications. Elements of yoga. According to Ashtanga Yoga, we are studying about Ashtanga Yoga. According to Ashtanga Yoga, there are 5 elements to achieve the union of Atma with Paramatma, that is Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. These are the 8 stages to achieve the union of Atma with Paramatma. Asana, it is categorized into 3 parts: culture asana, meditative and relaxative asana, and therapeutic asana. And before performing any asana, we should perform Surya Namaskar as a warming up exercise. And after doing the asana, we should perform Savasana as a cooling down. This is about the yoga.